Can't fucking do this anymore. I'm too old for this. It's too scary. I can go miles. I can walk miles with my eyes closed. You know, like without even in the warm months. But the reason we need to fucking move, if we're not going to be with Joe, then we need to move from here. I need to be on a bus line. I can't do this anymore. I fell walking, but I fell inching along. I fell on the way to the store, and he could cry. It's probably not even 20 degrees out. I wouldn't be surprised if I look it up and it's less than 20. It's so cold. I was hurt through my gloves. I could feel it. I don't remember ever feeling something through my gloves before. That's how fucking cold it is out, okay? I have very little time. My mom is going to be home any minute. She went to a church service. I was in the store like right before it was closing. I fell. You want to know how I fell? And he's crying, but this cold could kill him. It's a shock. He's too old. Like, he's better off going in his cage, or if we put him in our tub or something, he's better off going in the cage, and I'll clean it up. And I'll change it. I have plenty of things to change it into. I have blankets. I have the rug that I bought for him. That rug I told you they recommended that night was. I can't do this anymore. I can't do it anymore. And I went when it was lighter out, but then it got darker out. But it doesn't matter. In the whole scheme of things, maybe it does matter because it's more difficult at night to see black ice. But you know what? I needed to sleep today, and my mom was watching 50 Shades Darker, and I created videos for you guys that if you like me, you're going to love these videos. I like them. I don't like all my videos. It's a different angle, a different thing, and it's going to be called Sizzling Blonde Alicia Rose Artistic Expression in the Bed. You're going to like them. You'll like them if you like me. But you might not have got them. I might have been in the hospital right now. I fell. And I fell. There was nothing to fall on. I didn't trip over my own feet. But when it's this fucking cold out, the grass itself turns bumpy like the grass where I was walking, I could see footprints in the grass, like that it hardened, and maybe I tripped over the footprints. Other people had walked there because maybe it was muddy when it rained, and then the footprints froze, and then I don't know. I also I went back. I was looking around. I'm like, I couldn't even believe it while I was falling. I'm in the split second. I'm like, you gotta fucking be kidding me! I'm inching along. I'm not running. I'm paying attention. I might have tripped. There was some kind of wire thing. Maybe my foot got caught in that. I didn't see it where I tripped, but I saw it over there, and that might have been what happened. The fact is, it's too dangerous. Okay? That is the bottom line. If she loves it here, if we can't go to be with Joe, then we need to at least move from here, period. I can't fucking do this anymore. I couldn't even believe it. Fucking fell going out so we could have a nice Christmas. So we could have food and dessert and whatever. As I was falling, I couldn't believe it. I was in fucking shock. Because at that moment, you don't know if you're going to be seriously injured. You don't know if you're going to wind up in the hospital on Christmas Eve. Okay? While you're falling. It was on grass. And then coming home, it was dark. I went out when it was late, but I took some time, you know, and I to find us good shit. And then coming home, I was terrified I was going to fall, terrified of black ice, terrified of any car coming anywhere near me. I left my mom a voicemail right after I fell. I'm like, I'm sorry to ruin your Christmas. I know they're coming to pick you up any minute to go to your Christmas Eve thing at church. But I can't, I'm too old for this shit, Mom. I can't do it anymore. We have to move. If we can't be with Joe, then we need to not be here. I need to be on a fucking bus line. at least to be somewhat better. I need to be on a bus line. The bottom line is we need to be on a bus line, okay? I need to be on a bus line. I can't do this anymore. And that's it. How could I ever? Not that I can even think about that. Remember, I'm one step below being like the total, I'm not homeless. So I'm in the I'm one step above that. And it's so fucking cold out. And I can't even imagine anyone being out in this. But the fact is, I can tell you firsthand, people aren't out in this. The homeless people that are out in this, they choose to be out in this, okay? Because you can always find somewhere to go. There's always a shelter, even if it's full, they'll squish you in there, okay? You're not going to be left out in the cold to die. But the people who choose to be out in this are either severely mentally ill and can't be in the shelter, or they want to do their drugs. They don't want to give up doing the drugs, so they can't be in the shelter and have the drugs. They can't even have it on them. They have, you get checked, and obviously they have to check everyone. They check you. They check your bag. They pat you down. They're looking for weapons or drugs or both. Experienced it for 6.5 months. But it's better than being homeless. I told my contractor I can't stand it here. He's like, well, at least you have a home. I'm like, I know. I'm grateful for that. But I'm getting too old to be doing this thing where I have to walk. It's fine in the warm months, but the cold months are half the year almost. I could feel the cold through my gloves. But it was only one hand. It was a hand that was holding one grocery bag, because I had one grocery bag. They weren't disgustingly heavy. They were heavy enough. But I had one over my arm, over my left arm, and I carried the right arm one. And that was the one I could feel it. I was feeling numb through my nice warm gloves. That's how fucking cold it is out. I didn't get out earlier. I took advantage. I had an idea, and I took advantage of creating some. I created 2 really good videos, different, and then I had to watch them too. They were 15 minutes each, so that was a whole hour. And I couldn't sleep, and I needed to sleep, and it gets dark so early anyway, and I say in the videos this morning, you're not going to get them. And if I make it home alive going out, it's terrifying. And then at one point I decided to walk in the street coming back instead of in grass, right? But then the street, when I'm walking, I could see there's like a puddle that's formed into the black ice. So I have to watch out for everything. But I was terrified. I was shaking in the store, and I stayed a long time in the store trying to find us good shit. I'm just thankful I didn't get seriously injured. Could have. That's the bottom line. This is reality. It's my reality. I can't do this anymore. She doesn't want to go to Joe's. I get it. She loves it here. She doesn't want to move away from her friends and her church that she loves. But she can't take care of herself. That's the bottom line too. I can tell you that up and down, backwards and forwards, okay? She cannot take care of herself. She needs my help, okay? Had she still been with Auntie, I'm sure Auntie's regretting that. She could have easily had that, and that would have been, I would have lost my mom a long time ago, years ago. But I have my guess of why Auntie retracted on being my mom's guardian, went back on it, because Auntie was thinking that she'd have my mom where she wanted her, not talking to me at all, and then Auntie would get everything, whereas you don't if you're the guardian. The government would get everything. I'm on to people. I'm really smart. I'm too smart, too whatever, to be dealing with this shit where I'm inching along and I fall. And then my mom said, why don't you call so-and-so, the one who came through for us that day, who said you can call me for rides, you know, if you need. I'm like, I'm not bothering anyone on Christmas Eve, Mom. I'll walk. Every time I walk out of this house, I'm risking my life. But not so much in the warm months. Fortunately, I don't go out very often in these months. Mostly just stay in. She doesn't. She goes places. So even if I stay in and have very little chance of getting sick, because we can have food delivered. I did this because I couldn't get food delivered. Probably it was too late. I don't know if I could have food delivered on Christmas Eve. And I didn't even think to do it. I just thought I would go. I didn't know it was going to be so much bad weather. I thought that I would go yesterday, if you want to know the truth, during the day. Anyhow, she's going to be home any minute. I had to tell you guys that. This is the only video you're going to get. I have to let it's too cold for him. I had him out. If he doesn't understand, he forgets. He used to have a really good memory. Wonder how I know that? I won't tell you how I know that. I don't know. Anyway, Omar, when he was young, had a good memory. Because something happened before, and then he thought it was going to happen again. Let's say he whatever it was, and he looked, because when dogs can have memories, they can remember crap. And then he looked, and he had, you see in his eyes, he's like, I'm like, don't worry, that's not going to happen to you again, you know. I don't know, maybe it was when I or Donald, we were at Jack in the Box. I don't know if I didn't hurt him. Never hurt my dog, but in the summer, you know, it's California, whatever, you can put, you know, if you're trying to cool the dog down, but Omar doesn't like it. Omar doesn't like that at all. I will do it even in the summer around here if I'm walking someplace with him, you know, if we're going to get his nails cut or whatever, you know, but if he won't drink water that I bring for him, or we went far to go to his eye place, you know, I will pour water over him. He hates that. But it's better, if he won't drink it, it's better than nothing, right? Well, I remember we were at Jack in the Box with him in Mar Vista, and I poured a tiny bit of water over him from a cup, right? So then it was probably months later or something, and he was with me again, and I had the cup, and he thought that I was going to do it again. He looked at it. He thought, you know, he was afraid. He was like, so again, it's not hurting him, but he doesn't like it. But that's memory. He had the memory to remember the cup and remember that. I never forgot that because it was cute that he remembered. Like, don't worry, I'm not going to pour the water on you, Omar. But he saw my cup and he knew where we were, and he looked at me, he thought I was going to do it. And this was like weeks or whatever later. Anyhow, I don't know how long the service is going to go tonight. I have to put the food away and stuff. I got so much crap. Not crap, delicious shit. I got hummus and cheese and chips and not an organic roast, but a natural type roast that was very expensive. I got something that they make with real mashed potatoes. I got so I wouldn't have to cook. I got frozen vegetables to like cook. I wouldn't have to cut up stuff. So my mom says, why don't we have a roast? And then, yeah, have all the vegetables that come with it where you have to cut them up. And no, I don't think so. I didn't have time to think about that anyway. I fell, like I said, and that took time to be afraid. And then to really, I was inching along too. I fell over, and then I was mad. I looked, and I'm like, what the hell? I didn't trip over my own feet. I'm going real carefully. I'm inching along. This is my life. This is fucking hell.